Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top 10 player at this game. Today, we are doing Throwdown Thursday, where I team up with Poorly Played Risk, and we review a 1v1 map to help her, and you, the viewer, get better at the Game of Risk. Poorly Played Risk, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Olive. This is Mallory from Poorly Played Risk, and I suck at Caps 1v1, so I desperately need this tutorial today.
Oh no, you're wonderful.
You're a liar.
Yeah. So today we are playing on France, manual, 120 seconds, because it's a tutorial, progressive, fog on, blizzards on. You can see the continents are Northern France at +2, Western France at +4, Southwestern France at +3, Southern France at +2, Central France at +5, and Eastern France at +3. Not the most creative names, but they are technically names. Now, Poorly Played Risk, as your turn's coming up, in general, there's two philosophies. One is take a continent in the center for your capital, or take the corners first. Either is fine, so you can pick something quickly.
Okay.
So that's a good spot, Poorly Played Risk. The reason why it's important to always try to take the corner spots, unless you're going straight for your capital, is they're the most disconnected territories on the board.
And, okay.
Yep, and you want to be, and you can see in the disconnection map in the upper right-hand corner of our screen, the colors represent how many territories that specific territory is connected to. The number represents the adjacent territories. The other thing to keep in mind of Poorly Played Risk is that there's a forcing pick. One of these continents has two territories. So I can select this one right here, and you have to select the other one or you give me a continent.
Yep, didn't even think about that. That dang blizzard.
I'm now going to just take the most disconnected territories. Southern France, the one that I just took. What's great about this specific territory is if you take the bottom territory, then I can just take the top one. And if you take the top one, I can just take the bottom one. So it's just a very easy way to have a little bit extra of really strong territories. So always go for that one first. I'll just continue taking the most disconnected territories. And you can see on this map right here, and this is perfect for a tutorial video, the blizzards are in the corners, so it's very, very open. Sometimes you can see scenarios where blizzards on one of these two spots, which makes this a one border region. You can see blizzards on this territory or this territory, which makes this area two border region, this area or here. So a lot of times when those blizzards happen, it favors player one a lot.
But they can pick a really
it's actually
good
going to be favoring player two.
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
In capitals, player one wants the game to end short, and player two wants the game to go long, because player two is going to get the larger bonuses. I'm taking this territory right here because since there's a blizzard located right here, I want to take the best spots possible. Now I just take this spot here, as it's the other very, very strong territory spot on the map. And you can see I'm just practicing taking the corners and staying away from the center. I'll take this one here to make sure that I don't take a really, really bad spot. This map has a total of 24 territories. So player 1 will start with 12 and player 2 will start with 12. Player 1 will get 6 troops, 4 troops for the starting 3 plus a territory bonus, and then 2 for their capital. Player 2 will get 8 for 5, assuming player 1 takes at least 1 territory, plus 3 for going second. So I'm just going to continue taking the edges, as you can see. Oh, and one last interesting thing, Poorly Played Risk, you make me take the last pick.
Oh, okay, that's unusual.
Because it's an even number of territories. Good. Poorly Played Risk is forcing me to take this spot here. So I'm just going to do a very, very basic strategy. Leave everything in one army. And basically, what I'm just going to try to do, Poorly Played Risk, is play very defensively and conservatively and force you to make this game go long. So that way, I will get extra troops to you in the long term and take the game. You need to try to hold a region and get an advantage. One way that you could have done it is you could have capped right next to me right here. The territory is right behind me, by the way, this disconnection map, which I can just make a tiny bit smaller now that we're in the game right here. is you could have potentially capped. You see where your 4 was? The territory on the right? If you were to have capped there, you could have tried to hold this +2 region. I would have been able to access it. So you got to be creative when you can and try to get that advantage for yourself.
Yeah, creativity is important.
Yes. What was that YouTube viral series called? Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Did you watch that?
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, you need to watch it. Yeah, so now you're trying to defend your region right here, and you're trying to leave like 8s down like for yourself. All that's kind of like end up happening is I'm just going to attack these areas, and since I'm the one attacking, I'm going to get the attacker's advantage on you. Here, I didn't get the attacker's advantage, which is unfortunate, but it happens. Again, another bad roll, but I got to keep on attacking. And then finally, I'm going to attack your 8 to try to get attacker's advantage. And there we go. That's some good advantage right there.
That was so rude.
Don't think of it as being rude. Think of it as being me. And then I'm just
I had
going to
these
go back.
nice continents that I was trying to hold for myself, but no, I'm not allowed to have anything nice.
Yeah, so I got +4 on you. You have to break a lot, and it's going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you always want to end your turn on 13 when you can on this map. Otherwise, I'm just going to be getting an advantage. Another thing why I chose this as my capital right here is because Poorly Played Risk must always break me right here. Otherwise, I get a bonus in troops. So it's a very good standard cap spot to go for if you can. So I am just going to attack. I have to break Poorly Played Risk, but that is fine. Yep. So now I am just going to attack. And I'm going to do something a little cheeky right here, where what I'm going to do is leave a 2 right here, attack upwards, and then break Poorly Played Risk this way. It's just going to make it a little bit harder for her to go in and hit me everywhere that she wants.
Oh, there's that creativity you were talking about.
Yep, I'm affecting your overall mobility. And if you make your capital too weak, I can potentially blitz it. As player 2, I need about 33% odds.
Oops.
That's a slider mistake right there.
There is. Oh, it still worked out for me, though. Whoopsie.
Okay, and you're getting some good rolls, and you're at 18 right now, which is pretty good. If you ever feel like you're behind or know what to do, as player 2, you can always consider blitzing your opponent. Right now, the game is pretty even, so I don't need to do that. If I were to turn on my calculator right here, and I'll just turn off this image right here because we won't be using it anymore. This is a capital conquest calculator that just shows you the odds of winning an individual battle using true random odds. Poorly Played Risk has 15 troops on her capital, and I'll get +5. So if I were to blitz right here, my odds are around 31%. I need 33% chance in order to have a good chance of getting 2 points and winning the game in competitive play. So I'm not going to do that right there. Instead,
someone with a 33% chance?
I have a this is yeah, if I could have gone for that if I wanted to.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm also not going to hit your 4 because if I get a bad roll, I can just lose the game right then and there. So I'm just attacking the minimum amount possible and then putting the rest on my capital. So if you were to have a set right here and you were to hit me, the odds of this would be, and I'll just calculate this now because you would have 15 plus 5 plus 4, 24v16. These odds right here are 36%, which is below the 66% chance that you need to win. So it's not a good idea for you to be trying to blitz me right now, even if you have a set.
Okay, I was going to say that seems like crazy odds that I do not want to take.
You don't want to take them, that's for sure.
Damn it.
You gotta
again.
fix that slider.
Oh, I messed it up.
Yeah. So what Poorly Played Risk is doing is trying to minimize her losses by using the slider, but it is very, very intensive to use. So it's very risky.
You can end up maximizing your losses by messing it up.
Yep.
Still getting practice with the slider.
So I just take my time with it, and I always check my troops in the bottom right-hand corner before using it. So I'm just breaking you. You don't have any other continents because, again, you messed up on the slider, and then I just go back right here. And you can see right now the odds just get a little bit tougher for you. So you can trade in. The odds of you killing me are unlikely. So I'm allowing this game to go long right now. If you have a set, you should trade it in right away as player 1, because if player 2 does not have a set, they'll be at a significant disadvantage that you can play to try to get an edge for yourself. Taking that territory was a bit of a mistake.
It was?
Yes. And that is because you're going to be limiting the mobility of your region, of your continent.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so now I will trade in. I'm getting extra troops over Poorly Played Risk right here. So now I can afford taking this roll right here. Not the best roll, but not the worst one either for myself. And I can just continue attacking around the map. One thing that you can do, Poorly Played Risk, if you are worried about the slider, is I'm just leaving myself around 4 to 5 troops. And that makes it less likely that I'm going to have a slider mistake.
Okay.
Yep, and then I just go back. Cannot have the best rolls, but I'm still putting the pressure on you right here. We're about even in kill death. You kept my capital pretty weak, so if you get a set on 3 and you keep our troop counts around this size, that can be very favorable for you. So now I just need to break you and take 3 territories. Just trying to use up that one when I can.
Bad luck, yeah.
Yep, keeping you at the minimal amount and going back and keeping myself safe when I can. All right, you have the set. Let's do the math on this. So I'll turn back on my calculator.
Yeah, I'll have 28.
28 over 15. Those odds are 60% right there. So a little bit below the equilibrium. You could go for it if you wanted to, if you felt like those were your best chance. Or you can continue trying to play it out. Hope I don't have a set on 3 and then get an advantage for yourself.
Ooh. Oh, such a tough call.
For the audience's sake, let's play it out.
I'm going to go with you don't have a set.
Yes.
I'm going to bank on that.
On small maps, it's more likely for players to have sets on 3 cards. And this is because it's more likely for a player to have a wild card.
You want to know something crazy, Olive?
What?
I just had both wild cards.
I would have waited on trading in then.
They told me to trade right away.
Well, if you wanted to go for the kill. But that was actually good because then I could have traded in.
Yeah, I had both of them this time.
Yeah, so now
You weren't supposed to have a set.
I wasn't supposed to have a lot of things. Now I'm just going to use up this 2 backup right here. And I'm just going to attack. Whoops. I'm going to attack and break a region first. Then take my continent. Then hit you here. Hopefully get a good roll. And I do.
Did.
Then hit you here. Get a good roll, which I do. You can see I had some bad rolls in the beginning. Now I'm getting the full attacker's advantage right here. I'll just attack a tiny bit more.
Oh my gosh. This has all turned around on me. I was doing so good.
And
Well,
basically,
dang it.
you're betting on me having a set or not having a set. The odds were around the same of you going for the blitz, like right there, versus like not. Thankfully, you can still like turn this around. But if I get a set before you do, I will absolutely go out for the blitz because I'm going to have the odds to get a favorable roll and get the advantage over you. Yep. So I'm always calculating my odds for myself right here. And if I want to go for it, I do this every single turn as the game gets later for yourself. So here the odds are 25 over 16. The odds of me are winning are 41%. So if I felt that poorly played risk was just in a commanding lead, and the game was only going to get worse for me, I would go for the win right here and now. But in this case, I will not be doing that. So I'm going to do a little technique right here where all I'm going to do is attack here, failed.
Bad roll.
Happens. But now I'm going to leave this as a 7 right here like this. But I have to break you.
I mean, you didn't have to break me.
Oh, I had to break you. So now you don't have access to my capital. Or my continent, sorry. If you were to roll me right here, you would be getting a 21v16. Again, always do the math. If a poorly played risk were to roll me, it would be a 25% chance, and I will gladly take those equilibrium chances right there. So instead, she has to roll a 6v6. Those odds are around 40%, a little bit higher because if she wins the initial roll, Balanced Blitz will also give her an advantage. But if she fails, I'm going to probably take this game.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, you need to roll that.
No way.
The correct move is to roll that and not Slider Blitz. Oh my gosh. Like, why?
Just let me lose this game my own way, Olive.
Yeah, now you need to roll it again. Now you lost. So if you probably just want to take a card here. Yeah.
I rolled a 1 that time.
Well, you're going to roll at least one number. Aha! And you got to be careful right here if you keep your territory too weak. Yeah, go back to your continent. So if I were to go for the blitz right here on poorly played risk, it would be a 23v15. So again, pulling up the calculator. I'm just doing this because this game's going pretty late right here. It's pretty even between us. Odds are about 40%. I could take them if I wanted to, but I feel like I have the advantage. The other thing you need to keep in mind is if poorly played risk have a set for herself. And if she were to have a set, you can see right here that she would have a 12 set. That would put her at 32 troops in total when she trades in. And a 32 over 15 is excellent odds, 73%. With the balanced blitz advantage, that would be huge for her. She can go for the win. So given that, if I play very, very safe and cautiously, and I just put everything on my capital, and then I take one territory, breaking her continent, and then move it back onto my capital, we will see that I will have and I'll just go back to the fortify right here, a 24. So the most that she can have is a 32 over 24. Those odds, 25% right there, below the equilibrium. And a poorly played risk does not have... And the other thing to keep in mind is that are you going to be able to have a set? As you guys can see on my screen, I have a wild card. So if poorly played risk doesn't have a set and turn it in, I can turn it in and get a big blitz on her.
Well, that's not good news.
Yep. So if I turn in the set right here, I would be getting a total of 41 troops. So it would be a 41 over 18. Again, these are true random odds. In balanced blitz, you get an advantage if you're above 50% odds. So these odds under balanced blitz would probably be over 90% in general, unless you're guaranteed, I think, to beat your opponent within like a turn or two. If you can get above 90% as player 2, you should always go for the blitz. So let's go for it.
Come on, bad roll.
Nah, I'm OliveXC, baby. That's how I roll.
Oh, no. Olive,
Yes.
I did not have a trade on 4.
Yeah. This is OliveXC and Poorly Played Risk, signing off.